All right, welcome back, System Wars. Ohio 68 here. Another edition of Pedal to the Metal. Very special show today, all about Sony dominance, which, is fact. But before we get to that, I'm going to shoot it over to the co-host, the Master Shredder, the Heroica.
What's going on, Hyle?
Not
How are
much.
things? Yeah?
Just putting some bolts in the old chamber for the old podcast.
Yeah, man. I know you've been cooking this one up on your own this week. Like you went out and researched your top dog you wanted for a guest, and you just want to praise Sony today.
Well, I mean, they've done all the work, really. It's part of their culture. The buy gamers for gamers mantra they live by. So.
Yeah, I've heard about that before.
And as always, we always have our illustrious other co-host, right? Animal Mother.
Can you guys get us?
Yeah, we could. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm here. I'm taking over the show. Hyle is going to be leaving. He's going on a leave of absence.
Oh, I bet you that's gonna make what's his?
It's gonna make Pedal to the Metal smashing success.
It's gonna make Timbers happy.
We will be as I know, right? We will be as good as Donald Trump, right, Erika? I mean, we can run this show without turning it into a smoldering crater, right?
I don't think so. I don't know. Without, go ahead.
Without Hyle, the show can't go on. And Hyle, I would like to thank you for having me every week as a permanent light fixture.
Oh, you're welcome, Animal.
I'm sorry I
hurt any other way.
I'm sorry I hurt your feelings.
That's
right. This is cute.
All right, Heroic, why don't you tell us who we have today?
Well, we are very, very lucky today to have on with us a System Wars regular, a guy by the name of I Can Has. I think he's from the Lemming faction, isn't he, Hyle?
I think so. So he's here to defend Xbox One and Microsoft's policies.
Yeah, Major Nelson is a really great guy. He's awesome, and Xbox rules. And about me, I've been about the Xbox One for since the beginning. So yeah.
Who do you like better? Who do you like better, Matrick Balmer, or who do you like better,
Spencer?
Spencer, yeah.
I have to go with Matrick. He's
the
a
king.
legend. Yeah, he's a legend.
Bigger than Hyle.
Yeah, he's bigger than Hyle. He's bigger than Cass.
You should throw Nelson in there. He's pretty he's like the spokesman, I think.
Yes.
Nelson's a cool guy.
Yeah, he really is. Not as cool as Kaz though, so one up for Sony again. So yeah, today we thought we'd talk a little bit about how Sony is doing since the reveal back in June up until last month's numbers that were released. So, and then everything in between there. So we'll start off with the sales numbers that were released December. Actually, Xbox took North America sales.
So is this then the cast where we praise Sony, but Microsoft actually kicked Sony's ass this month?
Well, there's some there's a little light at the end of the tunnel with that too. So yes,
can't wait to hear.
Xbox One took out the PS4 in North America, but there's one major caveat to that, though. According to the latest NDP report, PlayStation 4 remains the cumulative leader for next-gen console sales.
Oh yeah!
Oh yeah! Since this U.S. release on the 15th. Sony spokesman Dan Race, I know him personally. I like Dan. Dan's a good guy.
You guys go out golfing?
Said in a statement provided to GameBeat, we sold every PS4 available in retail to the U.S. We were out of stock in December due to overwhelming consumer demand. So, would have Sony sold, made up the difference? Who knows? Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
They probably
My
would.
first question to you guys, we'll start with Ike and Has is this going to be a production race? Who can push out the most consoles and have them available for sale? I can go to my local Best Buy here. There's only one in my town, but they have stacks and stacks of 360s. Or sorry, Xbox Ones. Christmas tree, 6 foot, 7 foot Christmas tree, I would guess 30 or 40 in ech stack. So I bet you, I wouldn't surprise me if the store had 80 to 100 for sale, but last time I checked, they didn't have any PS4s. Does that hurt Sony or?
Well, I don't think it's going to hurt Sony. I think right now, basically have the Wii situation right now with PS4, where they're out of stock, and basically being out of stock and having all this demand basically creates more hype, if you want to say that. So I think it actually helps Sony. It just creates this perception with the public that PS4 is a really hot item, and I'd say the longer it's out of stock, the better, to be honest.
Really? I don't think.
Yep.
I mean, sooner or later, people are gonna want their console. I mean, I remember the 360 when it launched. My friends were having trouble getting it. It was out of stock for 6 months after launch. Was it that? Do you guys remember? Because I didn't buy my 360 till 2007.
I got
Yeah,
mine in
but-
April of 2007.
But
Yeah,
I have to look, but I think they was out for a while. And I guess they did end up well. But what do you think, Ann? What do you think that's the reason why, or does it really matter?
I think it's a double-edged sword, to be honest. I think Microsoft, you know what it is, and it is sad because Microsoft does have a lot of ones in stock, but hardly anyone is buying them. I think the PS4 being moved so frequently is both a blessing and a curse. Being able to move units at a certain speed is great, but having to keep up with production is also a curse. Just think about it. What's going to stop? I mean, listen, let's face the facts. I like to say I have an Xbox One now in my house.
Mhm.
I think it's a great console. It's definitely flawed by design. But what's to stop somebody from saying, why don't I just spend the extra $100 and get the thing that does almost the same exact thing the other console does?
Right.
I won't lie, the Xbox One hard drive is slow as shit. Took over an hour for me to install a game. PS4.
Shut up.
Okay. PS4 has a great drive in it where you could just pop it in, start playing while it queues the download.
Yeah,
Not queues the download, but it has background downloading. But back to my original point is, what's to stop the average consumer from saying, I had an Xbox before, what's so bad about getting an Xbox again?
you do have a point.
It's a blessing and a curse on Sony's behalf. What about you, Eureka? What do you think?
It's you know what? It's a balance. It's finding a balance. I don't think you can have it both ways. I think that you've got to find a balance as far as like meeting supply and demand, and also creating a buzz about the product that gets people jacked for it. I think that one thing that we're maybe a little bit short-sighted about is that Microsoft geared this particular console launch to North America, where with the 360 it was more of a global launch. PlayStation 4 has taken more of a traditional approach where they launched in more regions, making that supply and demand a little bit out of whack on their turf. So I look at something like the Xbox Ones in the stores, and I kind of anticipated it, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't think that it's necessarily a sign that nobody's buying. So one of you guys said nobody's buying X1s. I think almost 1 million people just bought X1s in the month of December. I just think that Microsoft, knowing that their market is North America and a few other regions, just really went out of their way to cater to this particular region.
I got a question for you, too. Will Japan have much of a February 22nd it launches, and the PS4 launches in Japan?
I think it's going to be big for PS4 in
I
Japan.
put a
think it's gonna
graphic.
be huge.
Yeah, I put a graphic in the cast for you guys to see, but according to these numbers, which I don't know how accurate they are, but I think I've heard this before. This is from Business Insider, so I think it probably has a little cred. But last gen, the PS3 in Japan sold 9.7 million, and the 360 1.65. So both consoles, they show the PS3 slightly ahead of the 360. I don't know if that's true or not, but they're both pretty close in sales. So is that going to tip the favor in the PS4's? I mean, it's going to help, right? They're already 1 million ahead, so.
I think Japan is a non-battleground. I think that's Sony's home territory. Sorry, Kyle. I know that's a sore butt subject. But no, I think Japan's Sony's territory, and I think it's stupid for anyone to say that Xbox or Microsoft, for that matter, can get a foothold in Japan at all. I mean, Europe is Sony land, almost Sony land, and Japan is out of the question. My biggest question to you guys is is the Xbox One not is the Xbox One being the fastest selling console in the month of or the biggest selling console in the month of December, is that because uh is that because the PS4s weren't available?
Yeah, I think that's the case. I think it's Sony not being able to keep up with the demand. So, I mean, not to take anything away from the Xbox One, I think the Xbox One did great, and I'm pretty much surprised they were able to sell that many. But I think right now I think Sony has the demand because like everyone I talk to, like my brother, he's been trying to get a PS4 for a while now, and a whole bunch of my friends too, and they can't get a PS4 because you go into the store, it's basically sold out. You can only get it like on Amazon or, like when Amazon gets shipments or whatever, and then they'll you order one. But it's really hard to get one right now. The
Here's a little,
Xbox,
yeah, I think so too. I mean, there's a little tidbit between Europe and Japan. That's, let's see, am I reading that graph right? Let's see, that's let's see, 7 million plus 15 million, almost 16 million console difference.
yeah,
PS3 sold better than the 360 in those two regions, and to put that in effect, if you're looking at 80 million sales, that's a fifth of the sales. So I don't know, Japan coming up. I think it's gonna be a lot. I don't know, man. I think but when it's all said and done, PS4 will have a 10 to 15 million advantage with those two territories. I mean, total, but the bulk of them coming from Japan and Europe.
yeah, I think so too.
I think the race in US will be closer.
Yeah, it's going to be closer. I wouldn't be surprised if Xbox One still takes the US and
Now,
North America. I wouldn't be surprised, but
last gen, the 360 absolutely crushed the PS3 North America by 18 million.
yeah,
That's huge. That's 46 million for a 360 and 28 for the PS3.
yeah.
So I bet you that's going to close down. What do you think, Eroica? Do you think those numbers are going to shrink, or is PS4 going to stay that far behind the 360 in North America?
I mean, it really is tough to tell right now. I mean, we talk a lot about launch sales, but it's when we look back across like the entire like breadth of like the generation, you always come to the conclusion that the shit that you talked at the beginning of the generation about the sales trends just didn't end up panning out by the end. But I feel pretty confident that PS4 is going to close the gap pretty significantly in North America. I think is onto something with the fact that the X1 may still take North America, but it's not going to be by nearly 20 million consoles like it just did in Gen 7. I think the whole idea that the X1 doesn't even have, I don't even think it has a launch date yet for Japan. I think Microsoft's pretty much just given up on that region.
I mean, in the threads that show, people saying that, Sony and the PS4 launched in 20 more regions.
Right.
Those 20 regions aren't going to amount to shit for the Xbox One.
Oh, absolutely. Well,
Absolutely.
and those regions, like there were a few regions that Sony launched. I think it was like 2 or 3 consoles in that particular country. I mean, we're talking very, very small numbers here, but you're right. I mean, like if it's spread around, when you look at a lot of the statistics, and obviously these are not 100% accurate, but they're pretty close, I would imagine. And I don't even know what you got this from Business Insider.
But Microsoft definitely released on their launch in the territories where they thought they would do best.
Absolutely, and the whole the whole Japan Xbox 360 launch fell on its face, and they basically like a traveling, like a guy who, what was it, like the Old West, they used to sell like the fucking potion. They'd roll into a town and sell a potion to the suckers, and then like roll out of town before they got killed. It's the same type of thing I feel like with Xbox in Japan. Like they rolled in, they laid out their carpet, nobody bought it, and now they're like, let's get the fuck out of here. So I don't know. I think you're right though, Hi. I think a 10 million difference by gens, and I would buy that. I would buy that.
Yeah.
Well,
I,
my
I,
question. Oh, sorry. Go on.
yeah, I was just gonna say, just to keep it SDC certified, I'd probably say 15 million.
I think honestly, I think once the one drops the Kinect camera, and I think it drops down $100, and they start to get Halo, Gears, and some other major
Gears is
players.
done, isn't it?
What?
Epic's not doing Gears anymore, are they?
They'll have People Can Fly make a Gears game.
I wouldn't be surprised if they have one more Gears game.
They're definitely going to push another Gears game out on that console. I think once they get the major players, like I said, Halo, and a couple other games, I think, and they drop the price by $100. The thing isn't competitive right now, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really the Xbox One is a fascinating machine.
Yeah.
But I don't think it has the greatest software in the future. Does it have some more interesting stuff than PS4? Yeah, but it needs to get its big players and a price drop, I think, in order to really become competitive in the US.
I don't think lost my train of thought there. What were you saying, Animal? I'm sorry.
I don't
saying
think that the Xbox One won't become competitive until it gets a price drop.
Oh, I don't think I don't think they're going to drop the Kinect at all because it's too much part of their media, like the voice commands and stuff like that. I don't think that's my prediction that they'll never offer a console without Kinect in it.
Yeah, I don't see that happening either.
They will. You know how many times we've heard Mass Effect will never be on PS3?
Well, this is an integral part of the hardware, though. It really is.
It's
part of the identity.
And they need to be able to differentiate the Xbox One from PS4. I mean,
Rika, you nailed it on the head. It's part of the identity, but I think they'll see that it's hurting them too much. They won't take that big of a loss on dropping the price to $400 and keeping everything in that bundle. They got to lose something in there.
But what do you consider, not to break in, but what do you consider them like that to me, them dropping Kinect is a panic move. That's like what you do when you go, oh my god, this thing is a complete failure. We need to we're in recovery mode right now. Do you really think that the X1 sales are ever going to even dip to that point, and that Microsoft themselves are even going to if let's say a 10 million lead, I wouldn't even say 10, let's say a 5 million console lead starts for the PlayStation 4. Is that a reason for Microsoft do you think that they're sitting back going, oh my God, there's a 5 million difference, we need to do something to get ahead? Or do you think they're sitting back going, well, we make, $28 on our Xbox, PlayStation makes, I think they said $18 on the PlayStation, we're still making a pretty hefty profit. I just don't see Microsoft ever getting to that point. I think hypothetically, Animal, you might be onto something, but I just don't see it coming to fruition.
Well, I think after they see a 5 million lead, I think they'll start to have a course correction because I think Halo has lost its power. Halo's a great game. Don't get me wrong, but it's lost its stay power. I mean, a lot of people, 1 million people will pick up the next Halo. But those 1 million people will already have Xbox Ones. And I think it'll boost sales temporarily. But I think that Sony has a cheaper console. Personally, to me, I can't say, that they have better software indefinitely, but I think that they have the better software and it's a little more versatile. PS Plus is already off to a great start on PS4. And does the voice chat suck? Sure, why not? But they've already given us 4 or 5 free games with the damn system, and really meaty games. And that's the thing Microsoft isn't offering. I think they'll move in a timely panic eventually, probably in the next year or so. I'd say I think next E3, not this E3, next E3, 2015 E3, they'll say, shit, we got to do something. Because Sony's dominating it. There's no question about it.
Yeah. What do you guys think about the whole incentives? If Microsoft, signs some deals with some cable companies or whatever, and they're able to give you some packages, some deals where you buy a cable box, you get an Xbox One for $200 or whatever. What do you think you guys think about that?
They should have subsidized it from the get-go then.
And there was talk of that leading up to, the announcement of the X1, that there was going to potentially be some type of a subsidized, but of course they had that all attached with Xbox Live. They were hypothesizing that if you buy like 3 years of Xbox Live, you'll get like an X1 for whatever, like basically the same way you do a cell phone contract. But
Yeah.
The way I look at it is, I think it's a good business move if both companies did that. I think every time I open up like a Best Buy ad, and then like Microsoft would have like the back to school, buy a laptop, get an Xbox 360, or Sony would have like buy a Bravia, get a PS3, like things like that. To me, I think are actually kind of neat.
Yeah.
So I'd be cool with it. I think subsidizing consoles is kind of a neat idea to get them in people's houses. So what do you think, Animal?
I think they should have subsidized from the get-go. I mean, the root of the problem all comes back to E3. And, Sony never, listen, there are people saying, oh, Sony had DRM in place and this and that. Sony never had DRM in place. You know how long it would have taken them to implement, and for them at the drop of a hat pin to hear Microsoft's conference and go, oh, we're going to take out DRM now. They didn't reverse engineer that thing 6 months before release. No way, no how. I think Microsoft could have, like I said, the root of the problem also goes back to E3, because Microsoft was so bullheaded that they were just like, oh, we won the last generation, and they did what Sony did. They put their foot in their fucking mouth like a bunch of idiots.
Yeah.
And I think Sony came out of the gates swinging. They had hat in hand, and they dominated. They said $400, and then the used game video they made that was that short, that was like, oh, you want to share a game with somebody on PlayStation, and they had the video where the two people pass it off. It was brilliant, and Microsoft should have just subsidized from the get-go if they wanted to have a TV experience, because that's what TV's about. You subsidize your box.
Exactly.
Your modem is part of your cost, your monthly cost, and a cable bill. So they should have teamed up with cable companies prior to E3 and said,
good call.
If you sign up for Microsoft Cable via Verizon or Optimum Online, those are some of the providers in my area, we'll give you the Xbox One as your top box for $300 with a subscription for $50 or $60 a month. Where I don't pay for my cable, so it's kind of like a non-thing. But where we'll give you this and this and this for X amount of dollars, people would have paid for it. And it's like pay to own your console. Kyle, what about you?
I I still think Sony will have it because of the price, and the whole, it goes back to June from the back to the reveal, and I don't think Microsoft can recover from that fully. I mean, I still have people coming up to me, and I hear people don't think that the system, the X1 can still play used games. That was so they were so railroaded with that I don't think they'll fully. I mean, it's going to sell well, but I think that just sealed Sony, quote unquote, winning the gen with sales. I think. I mean, and then the E3. I mean, really, the launch games. Microsoft's are probably better. They had more of them, and that really didn't affect anything as far as exclusives.
Yeah.
And that really didn't have any bearing effect. So I don't see. I mean, there's gonna be certain games that sell consoles. Titanfall will probably sell some.
Can you guys scare me real quick?
What's that?
Jesus.
Okay, good.
Yeah, very good.
There'll be certain games that move consoles, but there's gonna be. I don't think there's gonna be any single game that's gonna close the gap. So.
Yeah, I think the same thing too. I think this age of Call of Duty and Battlefield and all these big multi-platform games, I don't really see any big exclusive that could close the gap for Microsoft. I mean, Halo is a great game, and I think Titanfall is probably going to sell a lot of Xbox Ones, but I just don't see it. It's probably, like you guys have been saying, I think it's probably going to. I think Microsoft just blew it at E3. But do I think they're going to fail or anything? No. I think they're going to be successful. I think I think they're still gonna make their profit. So I just think they're just probably gonna ride it out and hope for the best next gen.
Yeah. So I have a question for you, Haz. I'll direct this one right at you. Given the fact that you are a huge Sony fan, and deservedly so, Sony has just made an awesome PS4. Do you think that when you strip everything away, all the 8 gigs of double density 5 RAM and all the other awesomeness that's in the PlayStation 4, does it come down to simply it's $100 cheaper and that's why it's going to win? Or do you believe that there's another reason that it's going to win? Is the biggest part of this advantage the price and that's it?
I don't think the biggest advantage is the $100 price difference. I think that's going to help Sony at first and all that. But at the end of the day, people are going to, it's all about the games. I mean, if Microsoft shows some killer exclusives or anything that can, sway people to buy an Xbox One, they'll buy an Xbox One regardless of the price. So I think Sony has to deliver on the games. And from what we saw last gen, I think Sony has the right mentality. I think the games are their games. They've been being. I just played Last of Us last. I have to be honest. I only got it last month, and I started playing it last month, and it's a hell of a game. If they can keep releasing games like that, I think they have it in the bag. Honestly, I don't think the $100 price difference is going to make that much of a big deal in the long run. I think, like everyone keeps saying, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. So
it is, and anything can happen. I mean, you see a lot of the doomsday threads on Sony about how they're going to go out of business. Sony's not going to go out of business just like that, and I think that's something that most people are a little bit delusional about.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's a sprint, not a race. I mean, it's a race, not a sprint. Anything can happen. I mean, Sony luckily still has the rights to the Spider-Man movies. They're this big branch of a huge company, and I think they're trying to. It's a marathon. Sorry, Rika. Anything can really happen. I mean, look at how PS3 kind of crept up at the end there. Did it beat the Xbox 360? No, but it came pretty damn close.
Yeah, it came close.
Software-wise, though, I think it blew it out of the water by the end of the cycle.
Mm-hmm.
PlayStation earned my money based on the fact that they supported the PlayStation 3 so well towards the end. That's why I went with PlayStation 4. I mean, I was inspired by the pro gamer speech that Jack Tretton gave at E3, and I was right there pumping my fist when he delivered those lines. But I just at this point, I really really like Xbox gaming. I can't say one negative thing about my personal experience with Xbox gaming, but I really really like the fact that we got The Last of Us this year, and we got The Puppeteer, and we got Dragon's Crown and Ni no Kuni, and the games like that just kept coming out that were different and fresh feeling. And when you have that many franchises under your belt that you can take out anytime you want to do a proper sequel to, or to extend that franchise, I think people who I think it's kind of it's like industry proof almost right now. Like Sony gaming is actually kind of like industry proof. They've got enough bullets in their chamber to keep their fans happy for quite a while.
Yep.
Yep. Totally agree with that.
And I would say that the releases aren't even. There are some really strong releases. Drive Club's coming out in March. Watch Dogs. I mean, it's got exclusive content.
Second Son, brother. Woo,
I was about to mention Second Son. Earth Defense Force, which I think is a pretty niche game. It's very, very specific audience.
MOB The Show 14.
Ooh,
Yes.
The
Beard
Witness. I think The Witness will come out at the tail end of this year.
Hey, you know what else? You know what else got announced?
Console.
I didn't realize this, but Rogue Legacy is coming to PS3 and PS4
and Vita. Yeah, I'm getting it on my
and Vita. Yeah.
Wow.
I was very
It's
excited to hear that because that's so good.
seems like a good game. And you know there are a bunch of other exclusives, some here that I haven't heard of, like Rhyme.
That looks good. That the E3
Yeah.
thing, that looks interesting. I'm keeping my eye on that. That's it's a
Me too,
title
man. I
that
can't-
that looks like that could be good. Hopefully they get that right because
Um,
it looks interesting.
Lily Bergamo is this year. It's
Do
a
you think
Suda 50.
do you think Capcom's uh what's that called? Deep Down?
Deep Down,
Yeah.
yeah.
You think that has a shot? I mean, is that free to play or what is
It's
that?
they've announced it as a free to play game.
Does that mean
I
it's just
I
gonna suck? Because with
I
Capcom and
I don't know. It's their first free to play game, and if it's anything like Dragon's Dogma, I wouldn't necessarily call it a sleeper hit, but it had some damn good combat and was a really fun game.
I'm playing that kind of
Um,
now. I'm trying to see if I can get into it. It was free on PSN Plus.
it's hard to get into indefinitely, but if it's anything like Dragon's Dogma, it's gonna be a blast. And if you could play with friends, it's gonna be that much more fun. Um, I think deep down it'll be like a 7.8.0 free to play game. I think it'll be like Warframe minus the time stuff.
Yeah, I'm getting that vibe from it too. I think it's probably gonna be like Warframe.
Warframe with fucking dragons.
Oh yeah. Can't
Eat
wait to play
shit,
that.
Warframe developers. Your game doesn't have dragons.
Oh yeah. I'd see it getting like 7 or 8.
Oh,
It's
we
gonna be
got
a good game.
we got The Order 1866,
Oh yeah, can't wait for that. Can't wait for that.
third-person shooter. Sony's really not known for third-person shooters that I can exclusive. Besides, I mean,
Uncharted.
That's not really a
Shooter.
that's more of an adventure, don't you think?
Yeah, it's more of an adventure.
Well, they're calling it on Wikipedia. They're calling The Order 1886 third-person shooter action adventure.
Oh,
plat-
well then I stand
Oh.
corrected. So it might be the same then. I don't think they'll be platforming, but I could be wrong. And then
That does look good.
I'm really excited. I mean, it's gonna be a multi-plat, but I'm really excited for Destiny, which I'm getting on PS4, and I also probably, if it comes out this year, which I don't know it will, but Diablo 3 with the new expansion pack. I think PC will get it first. Well, they will get it first in March. I'm not sure if they'll make it out, but I think I'm gonna buy it for the PS4. Dungeon Crawler. I've never played it on a console before, so that'll make Janker Crop happy.
So I have a question. Do you think that Sony's best game of Gen is a franchise that they already have released something on, or it's going to be something that we're going to see years down the road?
We'll see it years down the
Yeah, we'll probably see it years down the road. Because
road. Is it going to be Octodad?
Naughty Dog's next new game. If they do
Octodad.
Octodad. 'Cause we already know they're doing Uncharted, so that's going to be amazing. But I don't know if we'll see The Last of Us 2, which I wouldn't mind because that's so awesome. But they're probably them or Santa Monica is probably yeah, those two. Those two are probably the best exclusive developers that Sony has. So
Transistor is going to be amazing.
So I'm not sure what Santa
Yeah, that's
Monica is
good.
working on. They're helping the Order, but they also are making their own game, which is going to be undoubtedly a hack and slash because that's what they know. But there's rumors that it's going to be in Greek mythology this time, or no,
awesome.
not Greek.
I was going to say, is it
Nordic,
called
sorry.
God of War?
Nordic. Sorry, Nordic.
Nordic.
Like
Okay.
a Viking.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
that's cool.
That's
cool.
gonna
That
be
could be
awesome.
neat.
But
Some like really cool like locales and vistas and things
yeah,
like that.
I don't see
something like that
I
work.
don't see them changing genres like going to a shooter or something like that. It's gonna be hack and slash. So
Yeah, I mean one thing Sony definitely has is good variety. I mean, they've definitely, when you look through their list of exclusives, especially the franchises that they've brought to the table over the last, 5-6 years, you just see like kind of like an itch to be scratched in each one of them, and you got to have a lot of respect for that. So it's going to be interesting, I think. It's going to be interesting.
And they have Outlast coming next month. I know it's on PC, but regardless of what people say, it's something that the Xbox will not have.
Yeah, that's true.
You guys should get that pinball. I'm telling you, that's that free table that comes with it is if you turn the lights down on the scenery, there's an option to turn the lights down. The colors are
Kyle,
just
you trying to get
brilliant.
me to turn the lights down?
I am.
Oh shit!
You play with my ball.
Oh my
Oh.
god!
It's
What
really
just
good.
happened?
I'd highly recommend, and it's free. I mean, it's free.
Hey, as long as Star Wars Battlefield 3 is on both, then I'm cool. You can't go wrong, man.
Oh yeah,
Battlefront. I said Battlefield. Battlefront.
yeah. It's the
I
same
can't.
thing.
I can't wait. I can't wait to. I can't wait to play some new Battlefront. That's all I can't wait for.
Put the foot to the floor, turn it up to 11, or get the out. Pedal to the metal.
All right, so we want to change topics here real quick, and we want to get, since we have this new guest Iken has on our show, we're very glad to have him. We also want to know what his top 5 games of 2013 were. So we're going to turn the mic over to him, and we want to hear and critique his top 5 games of the year.
Okay. That's a tough one. So many great games came out 2013. Top 5, I have like really weird and varied tastes, but I'd probably say my top 5 games of the year. Probably Last of Us at number 1, and Dragon's Crown at number 2. Battlefield number 3, Battlefield 4 number 3, and I need probably. This is gonna be tricky. Yeah, BioShock Infinite number 4, and oh boy, probably my 5th. It's probably
Forza 5.
No, GT6. Yeah, GT6. That was. I was gonna say Dead or Alive Ultimate, but that came out in 2012 originally with Dead or Alive 5. So the Ultimate is not really a new release, just same shit. So I'd probably say GT6.
And now GT6 just, just I think some sales reports just came in that it didn't have a very good showing, and one of the reasons they wanted to release, what we all think anyways, they wanted to release another Gran Turismo game is because of the install base that the PS3 had, helping the sales out. Do you think that was a poorly calculated decision on Sony's part? They should have shelved the franchise
definitely was
like
a bad decision.
Yeah,
because
go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say it's definitely a bad decision because basically I play lots of GT5, and basically GTs are probably like the main reason I get PlayStation. Probably the main reason I'm a PlayStation fanboy. GT, and all my GT friends were like, why is it coming out for PS3? It should be out on PS4. It should be a PS4 launch game, and it was really disappointing for lots of my friends. So many people didn't jump on board the GT6 hype train, and I think it also hurt them the fact that they had it launched so close to the PS4, because even people that wanted to get GT6, they were probably like, I can't really afford that because I'm getting a PS4 next month. I I just got a PS4, so I can't afford to get GT6. So I don't know. I think it was a really dumb decision.
Well, I think when they started making it though, the PS4 wasn't even announced yet. I mean, obviously it was announced, but they had a development kit, so it would have been. I mean, you're this far into a game, and it comes out the same year. I don't think they could as simple as saying. I mean, they required a whole new rework because it wouldn't have worked with the PS4 because they're coding with the cell, right, on the PS3.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I think they were kind of damned if they did, damned if they didn't, because I think they would have had to have done. I don't know how to code a video game, but I think they would have had to done a major restart to make it work with the PS4, and it would have been. I'm guessing at least 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
For it to come out, so I think they just had to release it on the PS3. I mean, when did GTA 5 come out?
Gran
GTA
Turismo 5?
Yeah, it came out in
Or
2010. 2010.
uh,
December 2010, I remember.
so this was
Hmm.
3 years. So yeah, I mean, and once that released, I think they started working on 6, right? Do you think so?
Yeah, I
Maybe
think
went to
they
maybe
went
took
straight to work.
yeah, maybe a couple week or a month break, whatever, but
Hmm.
went straight to work. So I just think it'd been impossible. It would have been you wouldn't have seen the game for another 2 or 3 years. So they had to release it. So I don't think they had a choice. I think they couldn't have used what they had with the PS4. Period. I don't think so, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, and I also think there's the fact that GT 5 is such a huge game. I mean, like except for like really hardcore, GT addicts, I don't think many people actually do the 100% completion of the game and
And really,
like
the bottom
everything.
line is the PS3 is still getting games or get. I mean, it quote unquote bombed, but what is the Wii or the 360 getting?
Yeah, exactly. So,
Yeah.
Zilch. I can't even
sales.
think of
Yeah.
the last Wii game is released. I think they totally
It's dead. Yeah.
totally
I mean,
dropped that.
They totally dropped
Yeah.
the ball there.
Gears Judgment was the last game I know for the 360. So I don't know. I mean, how many did it sell again? The GTA 6?
Uh,
I don't know what the specifics numbers were. I just remember reading that it didn't have a great showing.
yeah, I
Um,
read it was sold like 300,000 in North America.
Oh wow! I wonder how
Yeah,
well it did
so
in Europe.
yeah, it probably did better in Europe because like I didn't even see it. Did it even chart in North America? I saw it chart in
It,
UK at
there's no
least.
way they're gonna scrap the series. Though we're gonna see one on PlayStation 4.
Yeah,
oh,
definitely.
definitely. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think.
I ha-
What? Go ahead.
Sorry, no. Finish. Mine's a
No,
different
I
topic.
just reiterate. I don't think they could have released it on the PS4. They were too deep into it with the PS3 code, and they had to release it. So
Yeah, I
it's
think
just
that's a valid argument because and Kaz is saying that probably GT7 is probably going to come out in like a year or two. So
I think
uh,
that's a
Wow.
series that needs to be seriously revitalized. It needs a
yeah,
breath of
definitely.
fresh air. I have one question for you, Iken has. How do you feel about PlayStation Now and the failure of OnLive? Do you think PlayStation Now is going to be a formidable service in the gaming world? Um, how do you think PlayStation Now is going to compare with it A being Gaikai and B we saw the failure of something like OnLive rise and fall in a single generation. Do you
Yeah.
think it'll be successful? Do you think they'll integrate it into kind of a subscription service where you don't have to rent or buy? Like, what do you think about that?
Oh wow, that's a really tricky question right now because I was one of the I used OnLive, so I know like its strengths and its weaknesses, and I wasn't really a big fan of it. I used to try playing Unreal Tournament on it, and it was like laggy as hell. So that was like a failure. I don't know with Gaikai. I have like some faith in Gaikai, but at the same time, I'm not sure because this feels like uncharted territory. With with the PlayStation now. I mean, like Sony's shown that they can start new services with the like what they did with the PlayStation Plus and everything, and how much of a success it is. And part of me, the cow side of me, wants to say that it's going to be a success and everything's going to go smoothly. But from my experience with OnLive, I I still have my doubts. So it's I don't know. I'd say at this point in time, I'd say it's like a 60% chance of success.
If you had to make one prediction, what would you think about the future of PlayStation Now?
I think if I was to make a prediction, I'd say it's gonna be a success. I don't know if it's gonna change, be a game changer like everyone's saying, but I think it's probably gonna be like it's probably gonna be a success. Not mind blowing success, but it's gonna be pretty big. At least it's gonna make me buy a PlayStation Vita. So I think That's a success in my book.
All right, so yeah, we heard
All
Icans. And anyway, for those of you who don't know him, he has the knockout girl with the enormously huge eyes. Is that from a video game or who is that?
What?
Is that your avatar? Is that from
No, she's a popular page 3 British model. Her name is I think Sarah Randall. Yeah, she's a model.
Why don't you users Google that for see what pops up on your Google page?
Yeah.
Sarah Randall. Let me try it real quick. Google.com. Rogi, your kids are in bed, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Safe
here
search
I
on.
am. Oh. Yeah. Wow.
Safe search on.
Images.
Oh,
Oh my God.
thanks.
Jesus. Lord Jesus, help me. Lord Jesus. Kids, get my nitrates.
Send it. Send it. I want to see it. Holy shit! Jesus!
I'm surprised you can fit her in that little box.
Yeah, it was like I had to try like different times with different
Oh my
images before I
God,
could get the right one.
You gotta see this one. No, but
That's a great face she's got, guys.
check,
Great
that,
face.
check that one out and I'll stop after that.
Yeah. Jesus.
Oh my God, Jesus!
All right.
And
anyway.
animal just came. Keep going.
Oh,
All right, we're gonna go around I think we're gonna try to get back to reality here after that last pick. Holy Nikes.
Big.
All right, so
She's
we're
got
gonna
great tracts of land.
we're gonna switch gears once again from I don't know what that was to what we're playing now. So let's start with our guest, Iken has. What are you playing right now, bro?
Playing a shit ton of Battlefield and GC6.
Now, Battlefield, I want to ask you a question. I didn't play the online because I heard there's issues. I just beat the single player campaign. But have you experienced these horrendous issues they've been talking about with the PS4? And
Oh yeah, launch week was pretty terrible actually. It like what happened was it would delete like once you play online or sometimes when you're playing single player, it will just delete your whole save file. So you basically lose everything and you have to start over again.
you're
And
online too? You'd start back from scratch?
Yeah, even online too. And then they patched it up. I think a couple of days later they patched it up, so the online part wasn't deleting, but the single player portion was deleting, and it was really bad. And they've been having lots of updates since then, and now it works. And I'm pretty happy. The only issues I have right now is sometimes it's mostly with the share button on the PS4. I click a video, and I only have this problem with Battlefield 4. I'll click the share button to share like an awesome moment in multiplayer, and it'll record what happened like 3 games ago, and I'll be like, "What the hell?" It'll show the right preview image, and then it'll show like the wrong video. And I only have this problem with Battlefield. Don't have it with Assassin's Creed. Don't have it with Killzone. Just Battlefield.
I had the single player problem the first couple weeks, but luckily, I think my issues have been rectified.
That's good. So besides those 2 games, you playing anything else?
Oh yeah, I still play lots of PS3 games, and even still play like Mass Effect on my PC. I play lots of Mass Effect 2. I tried playing Crysis, but I don't know, graphics kind of look dated not Crysis 3, obviously. I don't have Crysis 3, I have Crysis 1, and I tried modding it, and it was fun for a while, but the wow effect from the graphics had kind of, died down these past couple of years. So yeah, I'm not playing so much on PC anymore, but I've been playing like lots of Dragon's Crown, playing lots of Dead or Alive, Ultimate, playing lots of Street Fighter, Arcade Edition, and Soul Calibur 5. I play lots of fighting games, and Ninja Gaiden, Razor's Edge, and Sigma.
How many players is Dragon's Crown?
It's 4 players.
God, you had that animal?
No, I never bought it.
It's an
I
awesome
should
game.
buy it.
2 to 4. God, they should play
Yeah,
that. That'd be 3 of us that would have it.
Yeah,
What level are you?
Shoot. I can't remember what level I'm at.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm Eroica really hit that really hard with his kids, so they have some higher level characters. So, but we should play that again for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
All right, so we'll move it on to Animal. What are you playing, Animal?
I literally, as the podcast started, I bought Saints Row 4. So
For computer?
yeah, for PC. $20 Steam sale. It'll be long over. But I'm playing some DayZ. I'm playing some. I'm playing Battlefield 4, and I'm trying my best to get through the Swapper again right now. I really liked it, so I started playing it again. And Lords of Shadow for the sequel.
So speaking of DayZ, why don't you roll into your what we decided to do, and with point insertion and
pedal to the metal. It was kind of a creative idea between just Eureka and I. No. It was something that pedal to the metal and point insertion has been discussing for quite some time. We wanted to get video, like a video supplement. Thanks, Kyle. A video supplement to kind of go along with the podcast. So I think we're going to let it sit on this podcast. So we'll release this podcast and we'll let you guys hear about it and we'll start releasing it. But we're going to start doing essentially what are Let's Plays. We're calling them velocity videos. So they're 10, I guess, Eureka, they're 10 to 20 minutes of gameplay footage of a game and whether or not you should buy it or at least give it a whirl. And it'll become a video supplement to the podcast where you say, hey, I want to check this game out, and we're going to do a bunch of games. We have some good games in the hopper. We have DayZ. We have Rogue Legacy. I know Heil is going to be doing a lot of Wasteland 2. So look out, keep an eye out for those. Those will be releasing very shortly after this podcast. And it's going to be a lot of fun. They're kind of the bite-sized chunks of pedal to the metal you want. And they inform you on games that you may or may have not played.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
Eureka, what are you playing now?
I'm jacked for it, man. I'm playing right now, Rogue Legacy. I think we're like 3 podcasts deep with me saying that. I can't stop playing that game. I actually am going to start a run of Oregon Trail Director's Cut.
Oh, that's a great game.
Yeah, I can't wait to play that. And I started it the other day, but I haven't gone through it. And I'm playing Gunman Clive right now, which I'm going to do a velocity video on for the community very soon. So, and as far as, and I'm also playing Marvel Legos, which is really, really fun. You know, can I just say that the Lego games are really kind of crazy and ingenious, and like I really like them a lot. I'm not a huge fan of Traveler Tales like puzzles and the way that they kind of like lead you through a game, but they did a really masterful job of making a very fun Lego built New York City. And you know, like all of have you played it yet, Animal or Heil or Icon has? Have you played it?
Yeah, I played a lot of it. It's a great looking game. It's a witty game, and the puzzles aren't challenging. You're right. I find them a little more annoying.
Yeah.
But regardless, I think it's fun. It's witty. I just got to the open world portion of the game, and it's really a blast. Just unlocking heroes with all those abilities.
Yeah, it's kind of like a fun time waster. So I've been playing a ton of that too. So that's pretty much where I am right now. How about you, Heil?
Well, Wasteland 2, of course. That was thought we'd try to show some videos of that. That's pretty fun. I just installed Devil May Cry. That's free with PSN, so play that. I'm trying to get in Dragon's Dogma. God, I couldn't think of that. It hasn't gripped me yet, but I'll try to play another couple hours and see if it does. I got the extended edition one, the one where they patched with the extra content and the fast
Dark
travel.
Arisen.
Yeah, that was free last month on PSN, so I grabbed that. PS4, I'm playing pinball, man. I'm telling you, that's to me that's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I actually got 2 of them because I bought. Wait, sorry, on the PlayStation 3, I got when I had PSN, I got Zen Pinball, and I actually bought a Star Wars table. So with that, they're transferring to PS4, the tables that you bought. So actually, I got 2 pinball games. So I've been playing those. Those are fun, and actually, the wife likes playing those. Those don't require, fighting techniques of, the games that she plays like 1 second of it and say this sucks, So she can stand that one. I'm trying to still play Spartan Assault. I got 3 missions left of that. Those go pretty fast. That's a pretty short game. Kind of disappointed. It looks like it's going to be literally under 5 hours, it looks like. But hopefully some co-op when you guys get it will redeem that game. That was $15, but I think I've beaten a chapter in like under an hour easy, and there's only I think 5 or 6, so that game is pretty short. It seems. I think that's it. That's a lot of stuff though.
Yeah, that's a lot of stuff.
But mostly Wasteland 2. I'm gonna try to dive into that. I'm kind of excited for that. Hopefully, we can play that together. I also think we should get since it's free to play, Path of Exile.
Path of Exile. All right.
That's free to play, and that's a dungeon crawler. That'd be a good one to try to record. And I'm also in the Hearthstone. If you guys remember that, Blizzard's upcoming game. It's like Might and Magic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Card type game. So I'm in the beta in that, so I might show a little bit of that.
Awesome.
And I'm also thinking about buying the recorder to record console games, so we might have access to that.
Yeah, so we want to take a minute and say thank you to our guests today, Iken Has. Thanks, Iken Has, for dropping the gloves and hanging out with us for a little bit.
Oh, it was a pleasure. Thank you, guys. It was fun. I need to do this more often.
Yeah, definitely. Come back. You're welcome to come back anytime. Just let us know, and we will definitely make accommodations for you. Want to say thank you to the Animal Mother. Animal, got anything to say, dude?
No, thank you for listening, and keep an eye out for Velocity videos.
And I also want to turn everything over to give us the final words over to the hashtag legendary Heil68.
Yeah, thanks for joining us all. Like I said, if you want to join us, hit us up. Also, look out for more point insertion stuff. www.pointinsertion.com.
I think we can.
What?
Yeah. Go on. Sorry.
No, go ahead. The site is up and running, so check out some videos. We're going to transfer all our videos over there, right?
Yeah. Everything Pedal of the Metal will be there, and it's just it's going to be a cool place. We're going to have a lot of fun there.
All right. So for Heroica, this is Heil 60 years later.
Later, guys. Later.